They drafted Washington's Rome Odunze 9th overall. That gives them a top 3 of DJ Moore, Allen, and Odunze at wide receiver. All that makes up one of the best supporting casts in the league for first overall pick Caleb Williams. And earlier this week, Bill Barnwell ranked all 32 teams by their running back, receiver, and tight end units. No surprise to see the Niners repeat as number 1 in this year's rankings. Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins checked in at number 2, and then number 6. That's the Chicago Bears. They're up from 17th in these rankings last year. Mina, what do you want to see from Williams to know that he'll be able to capitalize on being surrounded by this talented skill group that Bill has focused on here?
You know, Laura, one of the reasons why I love the fact that the Bears have surrounded Caleb Williams with this talent, and I agree with Bill's assessment of the skill group, is not only obviously, you want to give your young quarterback good players, it's going to help the offense be more productive, all of that, but what it does for his development mentally. When I think about why young quarterbacks in the NFL struggle or fail, there's a litany of reasons. Bad play calling can play a role, certainly bad pass protection. But something else that you see is when they don't trust their playmakers, they develop bad habits. I think about the Panthers last year where guys didn't get open, and you saw because of that, Bryce Young didn't really have faith in the structure of the offense. When you do have faith, and it helps a lot when you have players like these wide receivers who will get open quickly, who will make difficult catches and make plays in space, is it will teach Caleb Williams to play with more aggression and, notably, anticipation. Getting him to play on time, to play quickly, which he is perfectly capable of, is the most important thing they can do for him in year 1. And starting with this group of skill players is a great way to ensure that.
Yeah, you mentioned the receivers not having faith in the offense for Bryce Young. Other concern in Carolina was that the offensive line wasn't very good, and so he never trusted that he would have time to actually go through his progressions. And that's my only concern here with this Bears offense. I love the playmakers, but the offensive line, especially on the interior, feels like a concern right now. They trade for Ryan Bates, a guy who they tried to sign a couple of years ago as a restricted free agent. He really sat last year, didn't play much in Buffalo. He's going to move from guard to center most likely in this offense. Nate Davis, a big addition they made a year ago in free agency, didn't really have a great year. He was hurt at minicamp or hurt at training camp. Wasn't able to really practice very much with a foot injury. That's a concern. Braxton Jones at left tackle, kind of inherited left tackle by default as a rookie. He's done okay, but missed a bunch of time last year. Pressure rate over 14% at left tackle. 3 spots up front where the Bears have question marks heading into the season. And it kind of feels like we're going to be sitting here next summer saying, man, the Bears finally addressed their offensive line after it held Caleb Williams back as a rookie. Hoping he has great numbers this year, but I feel like that's the one weakness for this Bears offense.
Yeah, it's interesting, guys, because I feel like us who are not necessarily like Bears fans, we're going to be like, oh, we see improvement. We see all of that. But, Mina, you see on the screen a 42% chance to make the playoffs. That's 8th in the NFC, according to ESPN analytics. How would you describe what success should look like for this Bears team next season?
Well, it's hard not to have playoff aspirations given how well the defense played last year and the fact that they were actually, verging on contention at times. They did not have the number 1 overall pick because of their own record. They had it because they had Carolina's. But I really think the most important thing for this team is just Caleb Williams. His development. You want to see him develop the habits that I talked about. You want to see all of the qualities you saw in college that made him the first overall pick, marked in pen, right, for months before the draft. And I think that the Bears have really done everything, maybe with the exception of the offensive line, that it will take to ensure that. So even if you do have some defensive regression, even if you don't make the playoffs because you play in a difficult NFC North, arguably the best division in the NFL, success with Caleb Williams matters more than all of that.
Yeah, certainly in the big picture, this is a Bears franchise that's been looking for a quarterback for about 9 decades now. This is not just a one-year thing. They're not lucky enough to be the Packers or the Colts where they just have franchise quarterback after franchise quarterback. So realistically, we saw the Bears make major progress on defense in the second half of last season. They were one of the best defenses in football over that stretch. They have Montez Sweat now, a major pass rusher, a young, promising secondary. But even if they miss the postseason and Caleb Williams plays like he's a fantastic rookie quarterback, if he gets the next C.J. Stroud caliber season as a rookie, I know Bears fans will want to be in the postseason in January, but they will be much happier having that guy they can feel confident about for making postseason trips for the next decade in Chicago.